Oh, yes. This is FoosWeek, folks. I'm Adam Gilson. There's Hannah Smith. That's Tom Robinson. I see something on my screen that I'm going to move. And there we are. You know, it's showbiz, folks. Every time something happens and we go live, you never know what's going to happen. Very exciting to be here with you the Tuesday after Hall of Fame Classic. Hannah, you were there. How you feeling?
Oh, yeah. Well, today was fine. You know, getting back to real life after a foosball tournament is always like crazy because you have to like get back to school, you have to get back to work, you have to like do all this laundry and like get your like house like livable again and like come back like what happened, you know? So, but I'm back. Everything's good. We're
That's
all good
awesome.
here. How about you?
That's same, absolute. You know, same. I've got a house. I have a couch filled with laundry that I did today. I did 3 loads of stuff because, you know, I've got a 6-year-old stay-at-home parent, and I'm actually considering taking all of the clean laundry and just putting it back in the dryer, and then going to bed later because I don't want to deal with it. But yeah, you know, post tournament, getting your stuff back together again, I guess is what it's officially called. But Tom,
it's real.
Tom, how about you? How are you doing, sir?
Color me impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are both awake and healthy. Nobody got sick. What's up with that?
Bro.
Isn't that usually like standard fare? You go to a tournament, come back deathly ill of something.
Let's not comment. Let's not say that
Oh,
the traffic
give
is
it
looking
time.
good. Yeah, I know. This is day 2, but you know, you never know. You never know.
Well,
but everybody was looking pretty healthy and happy in Hall of Fame.
I have to say,
Yeah.
wonderful performances. Hannah, first of all, congratulations. You and Todd tore it up. Designated mixed. Wow. That was awesome.
Whoop.
Yep.
Yeah, that was fun. It's funny because, you know, you mentioned it and something about our guest that we're going to have on. I was playing her the final, and it was the point to where I've been in Vegas long enough that like my sinuses are no longer existent. They're desert. I can't breathe. I'm like, my throat's starting to like bleed for no reason. Nose same way. And like out of nowhere, like we were playing and like, you know, we were playing forward. So it like ready. And like my voice wouldn't work. I'd just be like,
wow.
Yes. No, it was so bad. And I like sounded like a man afterwards. And I was just like, yeah, that's embarrassing. But that was the only thing that really like made me feel bad the whole time. But, you know, compared to my other previous Vegas times that I get sick or Colorado where I get sick, it was a great time. So we've made it so far, I guess.
Is Vegas sick worse than Colorado sick? Because there is a difference.
There is a difference. Well, yes, for me, usually because I'm there playing softball like last week and I was there for so long doing like outside stuff where I'm like dying because, you know, like trying to go run outfield and having like random nosebleeds and like coughing up like random blood for no reason. You're just like weird. Like, am I okay? Or like, is this just like the weather here? And then you come home and it's like humidity, come back. It feels great. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's a lot easier for foosball in Vegas than it is for Colorado, but it really just depends how bad it hits us. I know we have a hard time in Colorado, but we get through it.
Yeah, you lost me at run. I don't know what that is.
Don't try it.
I won't.
Not
no,
fun.
it's not
safe.
recommended. No. But yeah, so Vegas. Yeah, I remember. Same thing for me. Like by I got in Thursday evening, and by Friday, like my chest felt like I thought I was having like a panic attack or a heart attack or something like that. But it's just and this is what I found out. Golden Nugget, which I love it. It's fun. It's right there on Fremont. You know, you get to go see all that, experience all that. It doesn't have the same kind of circulation as the newer casinos do, but you don't smell the cigarette smoke, or it's not as present. And I used to smoke for years. Then I quit. Then I started smoking again at foosball tournaments when I started doing this commentary stuff. And then this was my 17th one in a year and a half, and I'm like, I should probably quit smoking at these things, you know. And then that I quit smoking, it makes my chest hurt more when I'm at these things. Ironic. I don't know.
Sure.
Have no explanation for that one.
I don't either.
None. Sorry.
But you mentioned our guest, Hannah. Our guest is Sullivan Rue, of course. And let's just get into it. Let's just dive in. I mean, you were there, and you were as a player. Sullivan Rue was there as a player, and I was there as a commentator. And there's Sullivan Rue. Sullivan, how you doing?
What's up,
I'm
Sully?
good. Hey guys.
So are you back at the whole school thing as well? Are you about to put laundry back in your dryer?
Well, actually, if you can see my chair, it's full of laundry.
Oh,
I'm glad you have
nice.
one of those too.
I can relate. Yeah, I put all mine on my bed, so now it's like shit, I have to do this before I go to sleep. But usually I just like pile it all up and like stick it on my side until tomorrow. So yeah, I can relate.
It's so funny.
Oh, they're actually human beings. Go
Right.
figure.
I know.
Wow.
I know. These good
Man.
players. So,
But it's all
I'm just-
clean. You can
like-
live out of it, you know.
Yeah,
If you
mine's
want to.
Okay.
clean. Mine's clean.
yeah. Well, the cool thing is there's enough places in my house to sit that I don't need to sit on that chair that's got all the clothes on it.
Same. There's only 2 people that live in
True
my
that.
house, so there's plenty of like places to not, you know.
Loophole.
Sit.
So,
Yep.
so
Level up.
Sullivan. So how did your weekend go?
It went great. I stayed there. I stayed in Vegas for a week because I was on spring break,
Wow.
so decided to make the most of it. Me and Hannah did a lot of shopping.
Saw that you got
Day
some scarves.
before.
I was
Did.
Yeah.
scarf jealous. I love a
What
good
time is
scarf.
it, Sully?
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, new watch.
let's see.
Awesome. Cartier?
Coach.
Close,
Rolex?
Gosh, no.
basically.
Seiko?
Coach.
I don't know what that is. So,
Right, coaches?
so wait a minute. When did you?
Coach.
I know what Coach is. That's how I fly. Did
Ooh, that was too quick.
so you got in? So you had spring break. That's so perfect. Oh wow.
Yes, very.
Did that make it less
We got
stressful?
in Tuesday.
Wait, what?
Well, go ahead, Hannah.
So we got in Tuesday and we tore that thing up.
Yes, badly.
Yep.
Badly.
That
Caught the same
explains a
Uber
lot.
ride from the airport. Got to eat a little snack when we got there. And then Wednesday we started out and we power shopped until we dropped. A good time was had.
Yes.
Were you guys roomies this time?
No, unfortunately, not this time.
Got it. Okay. No
But
frozen
we've got to
pickles?
make it happen again in the future, just for entertainment purposes.
Yeah,
I feel
because yeah, plenty entertainment.
good times.
So Vegas. Okay, there's a whole tournament we're going to talk about, but I'm just realizing something about Vegas. It's way different than any other tournament in existence, right? Y'all like specifically got there early. People don't do that usually, except for maybe the Costa Rica tournament. And you went and you tore it up hard. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Just
Define.
Spent so much money and
We dropped the bag, okay? We went, we shopped, we dropped a bag, got all the goodies, felt great, ate great food, came back, and we were just like, today is the best. And then we are like, oh, wait, we got to play foosball tomorrow. Weird. But like, I don't know.
Wow.
Like, I was talking to Sully and Terry about it, and we were just like, it feels so good, like getting in a day early in foosball instead of like getting to the tournament, rushing in, and having to go play your first event. Like, that sucks.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
like, when you have to do that, like it's so much more pressure, and you're just like, oh my gosh, foosball. But like, if you get there a day before, you can like relax, and you're just kind of settled, and then like you like can clear your head like the night before. So when you start your next event, like the next day, you're like, oh, all right, I'm ready now. You know, instead of like going into it like, what is going on? So I like it.
yeah, way less anxious.
It
There
seemed
was
to
a
work.
Colorado. Yeah, it did
Oh my
work, but
gosh.
for Colorado, I literally, well, Hannah tried her best, but my ride back was taking so long that they forfeited me out of my first round of singles. Hannah was like, she's literally like a minute away.
I was like at the table begging.
Ouch.
And then I got there and I immediately got called up in winter singles, but now it's elimination rounds because I'm in the loser side. Rough.
That was at Colorado State.
Mhm.
Well, I guess I
Not
wasn't
this
there.
past year, but the year before.
Yeah.
The year
Oh,
before.
okay,
Yep.
all right, because I didn't remember from last year. All right, so that's different. Yeah, showing up the day before is huge, in my opinion. You know, but I don't even
Yeah,
play
it
anymore.
is.
I just like to show up the day before. Don't worry about it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like Texas, I I'm not sure. It starts on Friday at like night, like 9 is my first event, but like I would like to get in like Friday, like 10 or 11 or 12-ish, so we can like go eat this place that we really like that we always go eat before. It's so good. And then like hang out and then get ready for the first event. So also like scheduling, for some reason I love to play mixed first, like the first night. Like I would rather play mixed first than like not play, and then like the first event of the day is like women's singles and you're like still kind of getting into it. Like I don't know. Or like handicap. Like handicap's a fun one to like kind of get warm for the tournament, or like a draw. Like get there a day and like play your draw and like get your table time and like get warmed up. But so it was different because my first event was women's singles. I didn't really play an event, it was like weird. Okay, it's Friday. And then Saturday I didn't have anything except for open doubles. So I played open doubles all day Saturday. And then Sunday I had 3 or 4 events that I was still in on Sunday. It was bananas.
Do you ever run the risk? I mean, either one of you run the risk of running out of gas before the opens, open singles and open doubles?
I don't think so.
Not really. I mean, I know my arm's going to be tired, like really tired and in a lot of pain, but I mean, you kind of don't realize it when you're in a match. When you're warming up, it's tough to get started, but in a match, I don't notice it.
Is that an adrenaline thing?
Saturday or
is that an adrenaline thing that you don't notice it?
Yeah, probably is adrenaline. And just because, I mean, maybe even the first few shots, I'm like, okay, that hurt, but I mean, I'd rather hurt than lose.
Wow. That's a bumper sticker. I'll buy that T-shirt all day long. I'd rather hurt than lose.
Same.
I'd rather nap. I'd rather nap than wake up.
Me too.
That's
whoa. Okay, easy. Waking up is critical part of the nap. Just letting you know.
I didn't even think about it that way. Thanks, Hannah.
The alternative isn't good.
Keeping me honest.
Well, I'd rather eat than starve.
Diego ZZ, by the way, we are on Twitch, and anybody that's on Twitch here with us, ask questions, say hi. We got one here. Hola desde Lima, Peru.
Hola, Peru.
Hello from Peru. Diego, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Oh, I know Diego.
Yeah. So, wow. Hannah, I totally interrupted you. You were going to say something a second ago.
Oh, I don't remember. Maybe, I guess what we were talking about, like, do you get tired or whatever? Like Sunday was the first time playing foosball that I've really felt tired in a long time. But like I woke up in the morning and I was like, oh, let's go get Starbucks. I played my first match or whatever. And then I was like, oh, let's go get like a snack from Starbucks, like, like a half bagel or like something like that. And I go and they're like, we can't warm anything up. So therefore we can't sell you any food except for like cake pops. And I was like, no. Wow. So, yeah, so I didn't get any food. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just go like grab a sandwich or something. And so I got back in the foosball room and Bracklin had a big match. So I went and watched. And then like I had a match. So I played. And then like, just kind of like kept going and like women's and pro and open was still going. And then like I'm playing for something in pro and I'm just sitting there and then Michael Stahl walks up to me and he was like, hey, Hannah, do you want the shrimp tempura roll? And I was just like, I almost cried. Like I was so in my feels. I was like, oh my God, yay, thank you so much. And then I was like in tears, like so excited about it. And then I was like, wait a minute. He know the exact thing that I would have ordered from. Like, it was very weird, but it was great. And then turns out Bracklin had something to do with it too, so that was nice. But I didn't eat anything until 10:30 that night, and I hadn't eaten all day. And I was like, weird. That's probably like why I don't feel good. And then at like 3 a.m. when we were playing our designated like semifinal against Brandon, Todd's like, hey, can you try to like step over back and then like cut it between their men and then like shoot a flippy with the far guy? And I'm like, sure, Todd. Yeah, sure, whatever. And like, I was like, I can't feel my hands. Like, I'm pale and I can't feel my hands. And he was just like, are you all right or what? You look like not aggressive. And I was like, I'm about to hit the ground. But then Bracklin and I think Isabel and somebody went to like a store and brought back a Coke and like pizza Pringles. So that saved me a little bit. But
breakfast of champions, pizza Pringles.
Is it breakfast or was it dinner or lunch? I don't know.
Well, it sounds like it was breakfast. It was pretty late early in the day or late at night, right?
Yeah. So I got to do better about that because I think it impacts like how you play and how you feel too. I mean, you don't realize it, like Sully said, because you're so like hype and like ready to play and like, oh, we're gonna get our next match. Like, got to get to the table. So it's just, you're just kind of in the mood. And then you realize like, dang, I'm kind of tired. Like my body isn't functioning right. Probably should eat something good.
Yeah, I really do forget about eating at tournaments.
It's
can
hard.
understand
And
that.
Yeah.
especially like where you're at. Like this is a great place. It had like Chick-fil-A, it had Starbucks, and they were both like really close. So you could always just grab something real quick and like, okay, eat 8 nuggets. Perfect. I'm good for a while, but
So
it's tough.
it's the 8-nugget match. Is that what that is? So now that would be for let's say designated, or would that be for something more serious like Women's Open?
Definitely
Well,
women's open.
honestly, I was about to say, wait a minute, Chick-fil-A is tier 1, but I got so tired of eating Chick-fil-A by like the second day. I was like, I will not eat another nugget this whole time. And Bracklin's like, who are you? You love Chick-fil-A. And I was like, I don't know, man. I'm weird and I'm not doing it anymore. So I just got like the tea and lemonade and rocked with that. But whew.
Now, I see you both finished in the top 5 in Women's Open singles. So what was that like? Did you guys play head to head during that part of the tournament?
No, we don't play against each other. The universe just doesn't let it
Didn't
happen.
happen that way, huh?
No, just kidding. Yeah, if I wouldn't have lost so early, it probably would have, but it didn't.
Well, you were third place, and Sullivan was first. What about Linda Lee? I mean, she's Canadian. You guys played against her recently?
Yeah. I used to play her a lot more, and
Mm,
she wasn't around as much because of COVID.
right.
I think her first returning tournament was actually Vegas last year, and I did play her in singles last year. It did go third game, but I knew that she wasn't at her peak, her normal level. She's a world champion singles player. She's won many singles titles. She's won MVP, so on. And then I play her again this year, and I think she is at the top of her game. I mean, if not close
Mm-hmm.
to it. As she was saying, she made a comment about that, how she made a bunch of second places, but her game was definitely at the top, and it definitely was. She played very well.
So what was it
Yeah.
that you did to her to take first place? Was it something? What do you take advantage of something that you saw?
Think that 2 to 5 is very difficult for me to block, but it does prevent really any scoring points out the back unless you do a trick shot. But which she did try, but I did get lucky and block those like with the left hand. My 5-bar defense wasn't the best against her, but anytime that I did get it, I would really try to utilize that. Just keep it from her 3 because she does have a very tricky 3-bar shot, which
Mm-hmm.
her offset and everything like that. But I think she made some adjustments from the winners bracket final to the final. If I remember correctly, it was 2 games, the winners bracket was. And then the final went 3 games and it was a lot closer.
Yeah, I think your 3-bar was the key. I think you changed something for me third game-ish of the final, the women's final. The final. I
Yep.
think your 3-bar was on fire. So, I mean, and your 5 is going to be what it is. You're going to get the ball. So, like when you're shooting that well of a percentage, you don't lose much. Just from outsider looking in, it's just how it is.
Well, also, I know that like at Colorado, me and Hannah played her in Midori in the final. In the first game, she really got all over my 5-bar. Like, we literally didn't score a point. I didn't get it on my 3 once. She kept it from my 3, and I'm not used to that. Like, I feel like I can typically get some through. So I realized I need to stop I was being timid with my 5-row, and I realized I was starting to do it again in the final. And just, forget about the defense, just pass like I normally do. And so I started to get more. And then as for the 3, I just had to, I don't know. She's really smart, really smart. And so I know I have to think of like, what is she showing me? What is she baiting versus what is she actually giving? And I think it really helped.
Yeah, I I called both of those matches. the winners bracket final and the final, and I saw that go to the third game in that in the finals, and the thing that stood out to me was how she kind of got a little bit better defensively, but the thing that you were really doing was playing your rhythm and not playing hers, and more so than that, your ability to pick up the ball and score on on other rods, on other men, right? That was huge. That was something like just watching her play. I've seen Linda play quite a lot, right? And she's just very steady Eddie. It's point A to point B to point C, but your style of play is is the antithesis of that, right? And I was very curious to see how that would end up being in the finals. And it kind of went maybe I'm not a prognosticator, but it kind of went kind of how I was kind of expecting it. But I still thought it was going to go 3 games just because of the adjustments. Because as you said, she's so smart.
Yeah. I don't think that I have too much issue. Like, I don't think that a slower pace makes my pace different.
No.
I think that a fast pace can make me faster and maybe hurt me in the end.
Right. And I think that's a really great observation because that's one of the things, like watching your tempo. And that's something that I think that I saw a lot this entire weekend with a lot of players is getting better at managing one's rhythms. And, you're very good at doing something that would be the opposite of how you normally play. But some people, when they face that, they have nothing to get fired up on, that makes sense?
Yeah.
And then they just fall off a cliff and it's not pretty to watch. I won't name any names,
Yeah.
but that happens.
Yeah, and like Sully said, Linda played great. She's the only person that beat me this weekend in singles. And honestly, I played some of the worst singles I've ever played in my life this weekend. But I still had a hard road. The first round was Isabel Stelly.
That was your
Great
first
match.
round?
It's my first round. Number one seed, and you get to play a dog like that, man. Like, and she fought hard. She played great. Isabel Stelly was my first round, and then I played Linda, and Linda had me 4-0 first game, and it was pretty sloppy. I think she would admit that too. She actually said it, after we made it again, she was like, "Man, this is so much better than the first time we played. Like, I'm glad we actually played foosball." I was like, "Yeah, me too." But anyway, she had me down 4-0, and I was like, "Come on, try, don't give up. This is one of those moments. Pout later, try now." And I came all the way back to 4-4 in that game, and I shot a bank shot, and it hit the corner of her goal and came back and slopped into my goal. And I was like, "Oh," and I said it to her. I was like, "Dude, I wish that would have happened 5-0, so we wouldn't have had to waste all this time going back all the way and then being like, dang it." So that was game 1, and then game 2 was 4-4-2. And then she made the last one somehow. I don't really remember if it was clean or not, but I know the first game wasn't. But she traded me a great Pokemon, so she can do whatever she wants because I love Linda and I love Pokemon, and I've been waiting. We were supposed to trade at Colorado, but we didn't, so I don't care.
Whoa. What?
Yeah, I know. It was a lot.
Yeah,
Lots to unpack.
A lot. Yeah. Let's put the foosball thing back on the back burner. Are we talking about physical cards? Are we talking about digital cards? What's happening? What just happened?
Pokemon Go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
so yeah.
Okay.
It's a thing.
Yeah. Oh, I know. You walk around.
I'll get back to that later.
Yeah. Were you walking around the tournament this weekend, finding?
For sure. Yeah, at kickoff there was a community day, and me and Dro Trujillo were catching shinies. It's a big deal. But anyways, sorry about Pokemon. But yeah, Linda can do whatever she wants. I told her after she traded me, I was like, "Bro, you can do whatever. Give me that Pokemon. You can beat me as many times as you want, I guess."
Wow.
But she played great. She really did. And then after her, I had to play Caddy. So that was a fun match. I hadn't played her in singles before. I played her, and then I played Cindy, I think. I don't know. This order might be off, but I know I played Cindy Head, and that was a big match for me because she beat me there last year 4-3rd. So I really wanted to get that one. And then I played Lynn, which that was a fun match because I had also never played Lynn in singles, and she's a great singles player. And like I said, I played the worst foosball of my life, and I still managed to make it work somehow with some momentum and a little bit of defense. And that was cool. That was a cool match.
Define cool. What about it? Because we have to talk about Lynn, of course.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, she's a fabulous player.
Yeah. I you know what? Unfortunately, I never got to see her play this weekend. She was never. Every time that she was in a match, I was either calling a match, and she was never put on one. So I never got to see that, especially the finals, which of women's doubles, which we're going to talk about here in a bit. But
Sure.
but your win against her in singles would have been for. I think that was high up there, right? That was 5th or 4th or something.
I think it was for like 5th or like
5th.
not
Yeah, it
even
was
any, or something down there. It wasn't like for anything huge.
2 games, 3 games.
3 games. 3 games. It was good. Players like her, I've seen her play a little bit, but I haven't like got to like make it happen like when I need it to. Like I haven't got to like try against that yet. So it was cool to get to play against her. And there was a lot of international players at Vegas. If you weren't there, there was tons. All of Germany and Bulgaria were there. I'm just kidding. But they did have a great showing of those players. And, when I was playing that match, like Isabel actually took a really cool photo and you can see like the whole crowd. And there was a lot of people from Germany watching, a lot of international players, but there was a lot of Americans too. And like one cool thing was Sully was watching the match and like cheering for me. And I made a shot. And at the same time, we were both like, come on. And like, Raphael was like, wow, y'all literally like just said that at the same time. Like, that's weird. I was like, yeah. We know
That
each
was
other.
weird.
It's fine. It was
That was
weird,
cool.
but it was cool. Yeah, it was. And Pace was fun with her. And like I said, I got to hang out with her outside of like foosball. We went to eat sushi and like hang out. And she's so nice and cool as a person. And as a player, she's just solid. If you don't go in there and do your job, you're going to lose. She's consistent. She has a plan and she's smart. So it's a big match always with her. I think she takes foosball very seriously and that's something I respect. So it was a big win for me. It was cool. I played Midori also. That was another one that I was kind of proud of. And it was funny because I was like, man, my 2-bar sucks. Like, oh, my 2-bar's not doing good today. And then like we start the match and the first 4 points of the game were all scored from goal. And we were both like, weird. This is like goalie wars. Like 2 for me, 2 for her. We're like back and forth, but not really surprising for her because she's such a great goalie. But it was a tough losers bracket. I didn't have anybody like a match off, the whole time it was just a gauntlet.
So I want to hear more from Sully. I'm sorry. And Tom, I you got things you want to say, but this is something that Jim and I spoke of many times this weekend. The women's brackets, the women's field these days is ridiculous. It is so good. It is so up, down the, down the bracket, it is good. And I'm just like, we were talking about it. I think that's what we were talking about in the lead up to the women's doubles final. We're just like, where do you go? Where do you hide? You can't hide in this bracket. There's nowhere, it's just hard. So anyways, go ahead. Tom, Hannah, I don't know. I'm just talking out loud here.
Well, I want to know, Hannah, how did you end up playing with 2 players from Colorado in the same Hall of Fame Classic? Rob Morris and Todd Lafredo.
Oh, my boys. Yeah, no, they're my pals.
How'd that happen?
Well, Rob and I actually usually play this one together for mixed.
Okay.
We've played the last few times. We've made the final a few times, but we've never been able to just win it. But just speaking about Rob Morris's game this weekend, it was really awesome to watch him this weekend. He was so fiery. He was so in it. And after we lost, I even told Bracklin, I said, I wish I could play with Rob Morris in every event ever. And he was like, why? I was like, it has nothing to do with talent. Yes, he's immensely talented, but he is the ultimate teammate. Like, and I don't know if other people feel that way or if he's just good for me, but he's in it every ball. He's going to try. He's not going to show up drunk. He's going to be excited. He loves foosball. He's analyzing it. He's talking to you and keeping you in it. Like he's just ultimate teammate. So I think a whole lot of Rob, and I'm just blessed I get to play with legends like him. And Todd and I are, of course, he's my designated guy. So we're trying to. This was our first time winning Vegas. I think last year we took 3rd or something, but first time winning Vegas together and designated. It's always a blast playing with him, and he's always teaching me something or clowning about whatever. So they're cool cats.
And so in designated, you and Todd won designated, Hannah, and that ended up Was it an easy road? Was it a hard road? Was it a rocky road?
It was different. Rocky road.
I'm hungry.
Fair enough. It was good. We played Bracklin and Yvetta first round, I think. And that's always tough for me because Bracklin, he blocks me and everybody's like, oh, you're letting him block you. I was like, no, like he does this at home. He will literally like beat me so many times at home because he's a great goalie. And Yvetta scored like 1,000,000% on Todd, which is like par. That usually happens. But we played some other ones that we got through them, some big dog teams. We got to play Dewey. He knows my game really well. So I figured he would block me relatively well, but I tried some weird stuff and it worked. And Ellen and Brandon, always tough containing him. And, Ellen's got such a sneaky 3-bar. And then the big dogs, Eric and Sully. Eric had been helping me with stuff about my shot all weekend. So it's not like he doesn't know my game. And he's always blocked me well. And Sully is Sully. You know what I mean? She's the power female forward. If she's going to get the ball. And I mean, I don't really care who's back there. She's going to score. So it puts a lot of pressure on to fight hard and handle your business because you know that the people across from you are going to. So that was definitely our most difficult match for sure. The final, as it should be.
Is it weird, like, because the two of you are like giving us some insight, and this question is for both of you. Like, I think the vast majority of people that are going to listen to this will never have been in the situation where they are in a big event like that, where they are playing against somebody that they have also made history with many times over, playing with and winning big events as well. Does that make sense? Right? Like, does that even matter to you, or is it just business? Are you guys just at the table, just let's go?
I don't think it makes us play any less hard. Like it's just normal.
It's like,
I think. It sucks.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But then
it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like I want Sully to win. I want to win too. So like anytime I'm not playing against her, I want her to win. Like, duh, why would I not? Because she's my friend and she's my partner and I think a lot of her. Great. I feel like the same way for her. But when we play each other, like I've mentioned this before, like in women's singles, we play each other a lot, and especially before we got like accurate points. We were like the 15th seed going into our first world title and like the 13th and like 20th seed in singles, like bananas. But we would have to play each other a lot because we weren't 1 and 2 seed. And we would have to play each other for like 15th. And we're like, man, this is so untimely. Because, we knew we would probably both make it relatively far in singles no matter when we play. But if the later you play, the better. But now, we just know how to play each other against singles now. And I'm not talking about like she knows my game or I know her game. It's like coming up, knowing we're both going to give it all we've got, but like mutual respect. So say she beats me 5-0-5-0. She's not going to like come around the table and be like, oh, okay, oh, give me a hug. Like, no, that's not what we're doing. And like, she knows that. But like, say I beat her, like, I'm not going to do that. Like after we play, it's like, give each other our little like 7 minutes. And then it's like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't know. It's a respectful game. It's, if I got you, okay, cool. I'm not going to argue with you over a call. It's something that I trust that if she jars me, we can have a real conversation that's respectable instead of just saying like, oh no, you didn't, like, immediately defensive attitude. It's not there with us. If I jar her, give her the ball. If she jars me, give me the ball or whatever. But it's different. It's much different playing her than other people for me, I think.
Sullivan, the jives, a mutual respect kind of thing, or?
Yeah, I never worry about, I mean, a lot of things that I worry about in women's, it's like, is there going to be, I don't know. I don't want to say this like just bad attitudes from the other side of the table, or I don't have to worry about that. I mean, we get feisty and stuff, but it's not towards each other. And we never have ever gotten a ref on either, like, of, you know what I mean? Like, I never would have to get one on Hannah. She would never have to get one on me. Because even if we did jar, like, we wouldn't mean to, first of all, and immediately I'm giving the ball back. Not that it happens, like, often, but it's just, it can go either way. Sometimes I win with slop, sometimes she wins with slop, but I don't know. I think it's either way, it's deserving.
That's foosball sometimes. Yeah. I got a question when it comes to designated mixed, and this, Sullivan, you can go first on this one. When it comes to the fact that it's single elimination, how does that change your attitude towards the event itself in designated mixed?
I mean, I hate single elimination in
Mm-hmm.
any
Mm-hmm.
way, but like first match, I can catch myself kind of messing around, shooting dumb stuff, but you really can lose. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have another chance after this. So I do definitely take it more serious where maybe other people don't and say it. I mean, it is a fun event, but not like a dumb event. I mean, a lot of women look forward to it, so I take it seriously because, you have one chance with it.
Yeah. I mean, the talent, just looking at the top 5 teams in designated mixed is huge. It's just the best players on the planet are in that top 5, including you guys. So, Hannah, how about you? How does that single elimination change your attitude when it comes to playing in the match?
Single elimination is not my favorite. Just because I love playing foosball, and I know that, if they don't seed it and I got to play Sully first round, that really sucks because we probably would get
Mm-hmm.
pretty far in the event. No, not downing anyone else. It's just the fact of it. So that's unfortunate, but they do seed it. But single elimination is not fun. I've won most of my so many titles from the losers bracket because I had that chance. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was like up until 2 years ago, I had won every world title from the loser side. So it's
Wow.
like, don't count me out just because I'm down here. And I don't know, it's just a different kind of play. But I just love that we could come on here and talk about designated mixed, and some people are like, oh, you're playing for peanuts. It doesn't matter. But
Mm-mm.
to women, any mixed event matters, and I think it's really cool when you find someone that takes foosball serious enough to play that event and be serious. My first bit of my foosball career, I played with my friends and they didn't really care, but I was wanting to win and I would show up and they would be drunk. And I would be like, what are you doing? I want to win this event. Man, if you wouldn't have been drunk, we could have won. I can score. And that sucks. It's not cool. So I respect Sully a lot. And I think this might be why we don't have conflict, even added onto the friendship, all the great other stuff. We don't drink and play foosball. So you don't have to worry
Mm-hmm.
about me coming to play in singles and being drunk
Yeah.
and not thinking I jarred or talking whatever because I'm drinking.
Well, because
And we just don't do that. It's
the
just
thing is
different,
that we come to play foosball. We don't come to do anything else.
Right.
Even Vegas, I
Yeah.
didn't go to Vegas to do all this extra stuff. I mean, I had extra days, so we went, but once the tournament starts, I'm not doing anything else.
No, and I can't tell you how many people are like, "Oh, let's go get a drink, let's go," and I'm just like, dog, I don't do that. I'm here to win. Like, I want to play foosball. So, in designated, I know it's a nothing event, but it's great to have a partner who doesn't get drunk and is there and mentally locked in. And it's great to play people like Sully, people like Ellen, who are locked in and want to win that thing. And it isn't just because they're drunk and playing and picking around. They take it seriously, and that's mad respect for me. That's all I have to say about it.
If I could maybe put this in other words, the reason why people want to play with you, and the reason why you all are so good and champions many times over in so many different places that none of us could even contemplate is because you take it seriously. You show up and you play the game, and you play the game in the way that the way that you know how as best you can, but you make adjustments. And you're not there because you want the glitter of the disco ball on you.
No,
The
exactly.
disco ball.
That's what I came up with in 10 seconds, Tom. I don't know what to tell you.
The hat was close to a disco ball. Okay.
Dude, you have no idea how
Just
much I
kidding.
snatched that hat from you and took it home with me. That was the best hat. That glitter hat was ridiculous. I love that hat. I want it.
Thanks. Might bring it back out. It
Yeah.
only comes out at night, though.
Okay.
Like a
Excuse me,
salamander.
guys. I just have to update my glossary. Could you spell that? Ridic.
RIDIC.
All right. Just got to make note of that.
Mm-hmm. Make all the notes you need. That. No, it's huge. It's a very popular term.
Ridic.
Yeah, just clarify the spelling. Yeah. Could be dangerous.
RIDIC.
Next.
I mean,
all right.
So
I can understand undic, but ridic, well.
What?
Whatever works.
Anyways, speaking of non sequitur, Sullivan, we have to talk about The women's final. Women's
Yeah.
doubles final. Walk us through all that.
Okay, so I mean, I guess I can start just on the way up. Me and Midori hadn't played for almost a year.
When
We
was the
did
last
win this
time?
tournament. Well, we played Texas State, so pretty much a year
Okay.
ago,
All right.
2 months, whatever. We won Vegas last year. Well, we won it the last 2 years, so a little bit of added pressure already going in. I don't believe that we lost a game up until the final. That gave us some sort of ego, but just showing that we were playing really well and on a roll. And going into the final, I'm always confident. I wasn't confident that we'd beat Lynn and Kati in 2 games. I wasn't going in with that type of attitude, but I surely wasn't expecting to be blown out the water terribly in the first set. And I don't even know, that was probably like 7 minutes. It seemed so fast.
Mm.
It was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think in a final I've ever been steamrolled like that fast. Besides Worlds, we had a similar situation at Worlds, me and Hannah, where we just got beat so bad in the first set, and it's like, what do I even do now? I
Was
really
this
felt kind of
Worlds last year? No.
this
Yeah.
past Worlds.
This past Worlds. Yeah.
This
Yeah,
past
last
Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
And
situation though. Didn't lose
yeah,
a game up until the final, and you go in with a lot of confidence, and you're like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
just
But
blown out. And so yeah, we lost 5-2 the first game, I think, and then like maybe we were down 4-1 actually in the second. I think we came back to either 4 or 4-3. Either way, we got some points back, but we ended up losing really fast, and we took a step away. Midori was showing no nerves, which I joke with her because she always, you can see it like in her game. I always joke when she's in the final of singles at Worlds, she like gives up the ball on 4-4. She gives it to Cindy's 3-bar from her 3-bar. Like we joke around, but Midori really composed herself. I don't even know if she felt super nervous like me, but we talked and she was confident. She was like, "We're fine." And in my head, I'm saying, "I'm going to lose." Not even being negative, but more just being realistic and preparing, considering what just happened. And my dad comes, just talks to me a bit, gives me some words as he usually
Between
does.
the first and second set.
Yeah.
Mm.
We walked away, we go sit by the computers, and Linda comes, tells me some stuff. Nothing much. Yeah, I see Noelia, who had been really supportive of me all weekend, and she just kind of was like, "Come on, you got this." So we go back. I did get a text from Hannah, but I didn't check my phone. I was just like so, you know. And so yeah, we go back, start playing. I'm so nervous. I bent down, started talking to my mom. My eyes are starting to water. Like, this fast, am I really gonna lose this? Like everything that I've been working for, you know. And it's not that I'm sad to be losing against that team. It's just like, how am I gonna do so well and then lose this fast and show no skill at all? And she's like, "No, come on, like you got this. You have to show up." So we start playing and we lose the first game. I'm not sure what the score was, if it was close, maybe it was. Lost the first game. Did some switching because I couldn't block her 5-bar. I was getting timid on my 5 like I was against Linda, which once that happens, it's bad. And I realized I needed to stop that, so I did a bunch of passes between games because I had to get that together. Otherwise, we were fine. And once Midori got up there, I started watching our defense because my 5-bar defense is never that impressive at all. And she swat a few, and I got back up there. There was a point in the second game where, well, actually, we got up like 4-1 in the second game because I started blocking her 5-bar. I was being aggressive, switched up with my normal defense, and I did get some passes. I did catch a few of her passes. I was more confident in my 5-bar. And also, I was making sure not to let any shots come out the back because Kate scored like 4 the first set. And so I was really focusing on that, which she didn't score again after that. And yeah, I was really being smarter on my shot, looking at what's there when I roll up, what's there when I sit here, and so on. So yeah, we won that second game pretty fast. But then the third game, we're coming in more confident than we had been, and they come up 2 points, and we have none. So then I'm like, once again in my head, maybe that was just, we got our momentum in that second game, and now it's back to them. Not that I lost confidence, but it was 2-0, and I look at Midori like, should we switch? And she was confident saying, no, you got it, stay up there. So I pass and score, and I steal her next pass and I score. And then I'm not sure what happened there, but now we're up 3-2. So we scored 3 in a row. And Lynn ends up scoring this next one, so it's 3-3, which is the most important point, I think. Someone calls a timeout, I don't know. I'm really nervous, but I'm feeling more confident at this point. I've talked about this before, even with Hannah, like sometimes you just know you're gonna get this one, like you're gonna get this point. And I had that feeling like it was gonna be good. So I think I might have stole that one too, where she missed it and Midori cleared it off to me or something like that. Midori did great passing the whole time, and she didn't give up the ball one time to Lynn's 3 ever. And I got it scored 4-3. And then in my head, I'm like, okay, wait, this one's important too. This one's really important because then it's going to go overtime, and that can go anyway. So I'm defending pretty well. I'm taking away some certain things on the 5, which I think she'll go far, and then she misses her wall pass, clears it to me, and then I scored it. But yeah, after that, I had a few tears fall like immediately, which usually it takes a little bit, but I think it's because I was so worried and I felt so bad. Like after that first set, I felt almost hopeless, which I've just never really felt. I felt that way probably once before, where it's just like you're getting absolutely destroyed. And I really didn't know what to do about it because I wasn't getting the ball. I couldn't block her. Like it seemed really bad, in my opinion. But it's important that I got myself together before the match started and warmed up my 5 bar because that's the most crucial part. Made the difference, I think, was just getting it in the first place. And being more aggressive, really paying attention to what she was doing because half the time I'm just going, I'm doing whatever, But to win, it required more thought than I usually put into things. Not that I don't think, but I don't know. I don't pay attention to such little things, but it really mattered.
So outside looking in for me, I watched the whole thing. It was, the first set was the first set, whatever. And that's why you win top. So you have a set to play with. We've talked about that forever, and that's fine. Like I said, I've been there, done that with you by myself, whatever. It doesn't matter. But after that, it does kind of make you feel like, what's going on here? Like, this is so weird, because it's like, man, I've crushed everybody on the way here. And then I get here and it's like, what? But it's moments like that you get it together. You take a step back. You have to like check yourself. And I mean, we've done it together. We've done it in singles, whatever. But those are like character building moments for me in foosball. Is like, what are you going to do now? Yeah, okay, you just got beat. Okay, shut up. Get over it. We have to figure it out now. But I think you guys did a really good job, especially you with the 5 bar defense, second set. Much more aggressive. And that's something that I think I also did when I played singles against hers too. I started off relatively like slow, soft, whatever. But the more aggressive defense helped out a lot. And that was the biggest change for me with you. And I told you a few things after the match that, if you played him again, that's something else that would work. But it was fun watching you think through it and figuring it out because I could just tell the second set was like definitely y'all's. I knew you were going to win. And I don't know if that's something in how you pass or what happens, but I was like, she's got it now. We're good. So I don't know, it sucks not being on your team, but getting to watch that is still really fun, if that makes sense. Like knowing what it is that's about you that's about to happen. I was like, okay.
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe other people see it too, but I can definitely tell when you're locked in and you've made that change and now we're rolling. So
That's funny
super proud.
because thank you, but it's funny that you say that because I did hear that from other people too, how they could just tell.
Yeah, it's totally different.
I mean, I know that in myself sometimes too. I can see it like, oh, I'm on, like I'm gonna win this, and there's other times like this match where I'm just like, I really don't know, just because I was so blown out the water. But yeah,
Tom?
It was a great final. Yeah.
Yeah, it's astounding to hear what's going through your mind now in retrospect, and in the moment feeling hopeless at one point, and then having the wherewithal to just say, you know what, I'm just going to do this thing. That's the sign of a true champion. We've seen this over and over and over again. It's not how badly you beat the competition, but how you come back from the brink. That's a real show of championship right there. That's great. Congratulations on that, by the way.
thank you. Yeah, it was definitely tough, but there was no way I was just gonna let that second set go the same way the first one did, just for my own my own pride.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just couldn't happen. Could not.
I'm listening to that and I'm feeling like there's some kind of nugget of really valuable information for anybody that might be listening to this or will listen to this.
Yes.
Hannah, how many times have you been double dipped in your career? And like big tournaments, not like a DYP, like
Maybe twice, maybe 3. Sully
That's
did it at
it.
Mississippi.
so. Sully did it. Sully, how many times have you been?
Sully was the last person that doubled it.
Once I think.
You've been double dipped
I actually
once.
I got double dipped at Hall of Fame in singles, my first major singles final. I got double dipped by Jackie.
Jackie,
I
huh?
watched.
Yeah. All right. So let me illustrate a point here, and I don't like talking about myself and my playing career, but I think it's really important to give some contrast. I got double dipped at semi-pro singles by Rob Atha in 2003 at Vegas.
Semi-pro? Wow.
And I had no business being there because I was a low rookie. I didn't have a 5-bar shot, but I was just like through whatever I got there, right? And that kind of thing, because I had no idea how to adjust or change or do anything. That kind of thing stuck on my head for the next 3 or 4 years of the time that I continued to play. And it affected me the following year when I was playing pro doubles at nationals. I was still a semi-pro, and I won the king seat. And myself and whoever it was, we lost to Brian Turman and somebody else. I forgot who it was. And I remember thinking this in between the break, in between the first and second set. I went and I sat over there by the stupid smell of the deep fried chicken tenders at the buffet area, and I said, do you know what I said to myself? I said, don't get double dipped. Don't get double dipped. Don't get double dipped. You know what happens when you do that? You get freaking double dipped. You don't do what it is that you did in that situation, and you don't change, the things that you needed to do. And you went back and you immediately started doing 5-bar practice because you felt that was the issue, right? You've been double dipped once, Hannah twice. I've been double dipped quite a few times because I'm a basket case. And that's the thing. That's the difference between being a champion and not, unfortunately, is that you, not even unfortunately, it's like you think about the things you need to change and look at it rationally and be like, okay, that's what I'm going to change, and I'm going to come back and do it. And you did it, and then you removed that yourself. Obviously, you were emotional and stuff like that, but you did not let that get in the way of the side of you that also needed to make the adjustments. And I say all that because all I do all day at these tournaments is I'm up there trying to talk to people and be like, look, you need to learn something from what you just saw. This is something you need to understand. When we talk about nerves and the thing between your ears, your brain, and you did it, and that's illustrative of it, to fixate on just what you can change and actually change it versus praying you don't get double dipped, which does nothing. And I say all that to ask you, in that moment, obviously, Sullivan, you were thinking, maybe that was in the periphery of your mind that you might get dipped. Maybe, but you still went down to business to fix what the issue was, right? And my question for you after all that is that like task number one anytime you're playing? Is it play, adjust, fix, go?
No. I don't really go in with a game plan most of the time. I think I had time between sets this time to realize, but lately I've been getting better at it because my dad does help me a lot with it. For example, I lost this mixed match to go from 5th to whatever, and we got 3 straighted. But then he was like, "You realize it was 5-4, 5-4, 5-4. One little thing, you win." And I didn't ever realize that. And like I was saying with my 5 bar, specifically my lane pass, with that one little thing I got confident on. And of course the 5 bar defense, but still it's remaining on the 5 bar. That's the one thing that changed it all. And it comes down to that in other matches too. Usually when I'm going in, if I don't know the player, I'm just thinking, I'm not even thinking anything. I just play and do my thing. I guess against certain people, I'll know, okay, they'll block my shot out the back well, so I'm going to do this instead. But otherwise, I'm not really thinking much. The only thing I really have to tell myself is, okay, slow down. Because that's my main issue. It's just I am too fast. Like I rush too much.
Yeah, same. And I kind of had to learn how to handle finals and dipping. So, say one example, I was in losers and singles, and I was like coming back, and I made it back to the final against someone, and I like kicked them the first 2 sets, like 5-1, 5-1, first 2 games. And I was like, oh yeah, we're rolling. Like, let's go. But instead of like staying at the table and playing right then, I went and took some time. Came back, things were a little different. Everyone there was like, "You're such an idiot. You should have kept playing. Like, you shouldn't have taken your time." And it was just like weird because like there are certain situations where you need to take all of your time. You need to go sit and figure it out and get away from the table, do whatever you feel is the reason you lost, like you did. But like it's so weird like managing that situation because, after like going into that, I took my time because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. I didn't realize that momentum, can take you either way. So it's so weird managing finals like that, because like you say, like, even if you dip someone once, like there's always that time of like limbo in between, like, are we gonna play right now or are we gonna play in 12 minutes or like how's it gonna go? But it's an interesting aspect of foosball, I think.
So Sullivan, when's the last time you did a double in women's? Is that something that you're getting used to doing on a regular basis?
I did it in tour kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
I tripled at tour kickoff.
Right.
Let me think. I mean, it's not something that well, I guess I expected, but not in a arrogant way, just like I want to win both. And I don't see it as, I don't know. That's
It's
my
a goal.
goal every time. I plan to go in double. But
Yeah, and almost tripled.
yeah, I did almost triple.
Yeah.
I think this weekend was a really big one for me, possibly one of the biggest, just because of the player base.
Mm-hmm.
It may have been bigger than Worlds.
I think
Like
it
this,
is.
yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Personally,
Mm-hmm.
I think this is way harder to win anything than
Yeah.
it ever has been at Worlds.
Yeah, this
So,
is
just
as
saying.
this is as stacked as a brackets across the board as I've seen, and a lot of that comes from the amount of international players that were there. And that because you have these players come that are like rookies or experts or whatever, but they're no experts on our tour.
Yeah, I
You know,
mean,
they're
they're
just
on the
not.
national teams and you're
Yeah.
playing them in expert and pro doubles. It's bananas.
Yeah.
Like, get it right, man. But whatever.
BANANAS.
That's right.
That's right.
Vegas is hard. Vegas is always that way though. And the last few years it hasn't been.
No.
I don't feel because
It
there
wasn't
hasn't
last
been any
year.
international players. It was like normal tournament. But this year was hard. And I said, this is like Worlds times 2. And it's so cool to have that. And also, I have to say, a lot of people got forfeited out of brackets that they probably shouldn't have this weekend. I know Bracklin got forfeited for his page and expert doubles. I know Midori got forfeited out for third or something. Like I know Kane got forfeited out of something that was a pretty big deal.
My mom and pro
but
doubles.
your mom and Isabel were literally at the table. Like there's so many situations I could tell you of like 7 people that like in big matches, like you're playing for your page and expert. That's big. Like it was 100 and something teams, it's great. Anything at Vegas is big. And if you're getting forfeited out, that really sucks. But, they were on it with the forfeits this weekend.
I think it could have gone a little differently in a way that some matches they got to take a game off, and in my mom's case, they lost the whole thing.
Same with Bracklin. His partner showed up 30 seconds after they forfeited, and they didn't move the bracket forward. That's a problem to me. But, get there in your time, whatever. But like the old recall system, I could have sworn like, say me and you are up and I show up at 11 minutes, I'm down a game. Okay. Now, but we still play the game. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would have been a little bit better, but I know they were stressing about tables and people, how many people they had and whatever. But
yeah,
it's just like, man, if you're going to do that at a tournament, do it at every tournament, not just Vegas.
Right.
This is a major. This is not the place to do that stuff. Do that at kickoff or whatever.
Do it with the same, do it the same with each person. Don't just recall this person on the mic and then not recall this person on the mic.
Yeah, I mean, I had an open doubles match that for 5th, and they took 15 minutes to get to the table. Jeez. Bracklin was forfeited at 12.
I think that's really something to consider. I think that's something to really think about. I don't know.
Well, it has to be universal. It has to be something that's always the case. This is always what's going to happen if this happens, and why it's not. That's a question.
Right. So Sullivan, we've been talking to you as a player this weekend, but as a fan and as a watcher, I have to ask you about what it was like watching the open doubles final.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was very emotional.
Yeah.
At the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And to set it up, I'm sorry for anybody that maybe. So it was your dad and Brandon Munoz played coming. They were the winners of the winners, playing Tony Sprademan and Rob Mares. Right. So sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's okay. So I would just say this, and I'm not even saying it because I'm biased, but I think my dad was the MVP of that table.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's just that. I think he played the best game. He blocked so much in that first set, dude. He blocked Tony so much. I also think, once again, not being biased, that he deserves those titles more than any other master does. I guarantee you he's the only master that practices as much as he does with a job like he has and kids who he has to show attention to. He has the most heart for it. And so that's why it's so tough for me to watch him lose, because he deserves it more than anyone, for sure. And seeing the bad attitudes coming from other people towards him and maybe towards me and my mom for cheering for him was very hurtful, especially because he's the most genuine guy. And I think anyone would agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
So it was frustrating. And then to see him lose, and I know that so many people wanted him to win that, not just myself, but I know that the way he was playing, that he's going to win soon. I know he's gonna. Yeah. If he keeps up like that way.
I didn't realize that part about the negative attitude towards your dad. That was it's hard for me to fathom that.
It was hard to watch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From an outsider who, I mean, it was different.
Yeah.
I watched the thing from the stream. I wasn't even in the room, and I was getting the vibe, the emotional vibe on that one. That was intense. Very intense. And your dad was he was just so solid, especially with a couple of those long pulls from the
I
back.
know it was
Wow.
very impressive. And I
Like,
know he's got a
wow.
2 bar, but to score on Tony's defense, which I played with Tony, and the way that it's set up, it's almost impossible to score.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe score 1, but my dad
And
scored about 7.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's
that zone.
insane.
And what Terry did is that he was the team captain. I mean, I don't think there's any question that he was the team captain.
Right.
As good
Right.
as Brandon is, obviously, and he's quite good. I still think the level of experience and everything else that Terry brought to that match and actually to their run was impressive, to say the least.
Yeah. And, no offense to Brandon, he would admit this, but it wasn't his best match.
Yeah.
And if it was, it wouldn't have gone that way, and I guarantee that too.
If I could just say something as a fan, I noticed Brandon, especially in that the last match, he got blocked multiple times by Rob Morris. And the reason that happened is because he wouldn't stop. He wouldn't slow down. He kept trying to quick shoot. And it's like so frustrating. It's like, dude, just stop, just set up and wait. But he kept, blasting it into Rob, and Rob was waiting for him.
Hmm.
And Rob's smart. Me and Rob played them in mixed, and Rob did a lot different than the last time we played them in mixed. Like, we should have won.
Mm-hmm.
And we had like 4 shots to win. Like, we were like no comparison, but it was just like, yeah, okay, we missed a few shots and they won. Great, good job. But like, he was figuring something out on Brandon then, I believe, on something
Mhm.
in his defense. So I thought that was maybe that played into, Robert Morris is legend. Everybody on that table is like legendary. So they're
Sure.
not dummies. They learn. And it might be like Brandon's doing something different this weekend that maybe they can pick up on this weekend. It's not like Brandon does this every tournament every single time. No, because he's going to evolve, he's going to get better and change things, of course. But maybe he saw something in that, or a previous match, or I'm not sure, but it did seem like he was
Yeah.
blocking at a higher percentage there when Brandon was free rolling, like you said. Yeah.
He was definitely blocking really well and clearing really well
Mhm.
for the most part.
You know,
Yeah,
Sullivan,
I was
doing
impressed by
something
Rob
really well.
Mares all weekend.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Singles, everything. I was impressed by
Yeah.
him.
That was vintage. It wasn't even vintage. It was just now age. I don't know what the term is for present.
Now age.
Yeah. No, it was. Yeah, that was amazing. So Sullivan, you just said it. Like, your dad gives so much to you, your family, to his job and everything else, and yet he still goes out there and competes at foosball and puts his heart in there. And it was something I remember chatting with your mom about. Like, she's often wondered, like, what kind of career could he have had in foosball if he wasn't so focused, family focused, and career focused, which I think, well, I don't even, whatever. It doesn't matter what I think. But, like, I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I actually never thought of that, which is weird that you said that. I couldn't imagine, because if he could work, like, if he could be a foosball player for a living, he would, just like I think pretty much all of us would.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get to see him at his best, at his peak. I've heard lots about it. Jim Stevens used to call him the Flash.
Mm.
It was just like insane. And I know this because Jim kind of compares that to me and my fast-paced game, but besides the point. Yeah, I think he would have much more success. And he already is successful, but I think it would be another level for sure.
And that kind of match that we saw this weekend, it's hard to tell, though. Like, if he was 100% committed into it. It's not like he wasn't,
Mhm.
I mean, but you know what it is? How do I say this? Like, he's 100% committed. He's 110 million% committed.
Mm-hmm.
But is it in the overall arc of day-to-day life, like, the major focus? I don't know. That's a hard one. That's hard to really parse.
I mean, we'll play, if I had the time, wasn't studying, we'd play it all day, every day. I mean, if he had the time as well, we'd play every day, all day.
Mm.
And I know this loss will live with him, just like his world's loss so many years ago still does too. And I mean, I'm the same way. Me and Hannah's loss will it's still, I think about it every night still. And he's the same way
Yep.
as I am. Just because he comes back to his busy life, he still is very much concerned with foosball. He still goes to locals weekly with me. I mean, he's still in it.
And it's so fun. Like, yeah, it's fun to watch certain people play foosball, but like certain people that you watch play foosball, you can tell that they truly enjoy playing foosball. They're here and
Mhm.
just playing foosball means a whole lot to them. And some people like hide it better because I guess they think that's the cool thing to do. But when you get a glimpse of it, even with some of the cool cats, you're like, wow, like they really still like playing foosball. Like Todd. Todd
Mhm.
Lafredo is best in the world. Like, he's amazing. Couldn't ask for better. He's too cool for school. But sometimes he'll get fired up with me and he's like, I'm going to pull that smile right off their face. And he'll get back there and shoot like the most hardcore pull shot you've ever seen. And I'm just like, and then like after the match, he's like, yeah, let's go. And I'm just like, who are you? Like, are you okay? But like he loves foosball. He said, hey, try this shot. And like he just wants to see if I can do it. Like he just wants to see it. He just wants to watch foosball and see it work. And it's like, wow, that was great. But he enjoys it. Terry Rue enjoys foosball. I've played pickup games at their house. We go to their house and literally just watch foosball.
Yeah.
And to sit there and watch and talk and listen to like, especially ones that he was at when he was younger, like none of us were, but like we're like asking questions and he's like giving us like the background scoop. He loves that. It's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
great. Rob Mares loves foosball. Played mixed with him. He loves it. It makes his soul happy. And you can just tell like there's certain people that Sully loves foosball. You can tell. Why? Watch her get fired up. Foosball fires her up. It's just certain people that are just like, oh, yay, you do enjoy this. And they can be good or they don't even have to be that good. I just like that about certain players. Because you can tell. Especially fun to watch it in the final, like watching all those legends on a table battling it out.
What about those that talk smack way on table 48? Like, just me.
There was actually a lot of that.
That's just me.
Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah, I know.
I
You
saw
heard
you
me.
over there.
Right.
I even looked over here to watch like this. I didn't know what was going to happen.
You know what's
It was
funny?
great.
You know what? I was just thinking about something, the four of us right now. Tom is a teacher. Sullivan, you're working on your bachelor's, or what is it you're getting?
In nursing.
In bachelor's of nursing. I'm working on my master's, and Hannah, you're doing your
PhD.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the four of us are all either
Yeah.
educators.
We're-
It is so cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Isn't
I
it?
love that. I don't even know what to think for that.
Well, when we had Jake Barnett on the show, I mean, like, man, I feel like a mental midget compared to these people.
Yeah.
My God.
yeah, no. Guy's got
Wow.
a TI-82 in his brain.
Right?
That's also good.
Wow.
Wow. You know what? Sullivan, I told you maybe 45 or so minutes, and we're at an hour and 15 or so. So how are you? Because I know you're studying. Actually, I'll tell you one thing. My memory from you this weekend was it was like 2:00 in the morning. You were like, you had your notebook and your notepad, and you were like about to leave to go to wherever. And I was like, what are you doing? And you're like, oh, I'm going to go study for a couple hours, and I'm going to wake up in a couple hours and then, get warmed up. And I'm like, that's your regiment? When are you waking up? And you're like 9. I'm like, oh, God. Is that how you roll with the studying?
Yeah, now I have to. I mean, anyone that saw me, I was up by the front stage writing anytime I could. Right after my final, I was up there writing my notes, studying all weekend. Before I go to bed, I do this amount of studying and then I go to bed. Wake up, bring myself downstairs, study, go warm up. But it paid off because I did have that test that I had to take.
When?
Right back on my arrival.
Yesterday?
Immediately.
But I think I made an A on it, so
good.
Paid off. Just like the last one when I was studying it toward kickoff.
Got that picture.
Yes.
Just sitting there looking at your screen, waiting for the match to start. That's wild.
Incidentally, I should mention at this point we look at the numbers here a lot when it comes to foosball radio and the different shows we do. The number one, my greatest, with Sullivan Rue, 500 downloads.
Woo.
That's better than Johnny Horton, by the way, who was at 482.
I downloaded it 6 times just for you, Sully.
You
Get those
got
numbers up, baby.
And did you get on every device and you're like,
Wow.
doop.
Yep. And my mom and dad's. I'm
Aw.
just kidding.
got,
You're famous
uh,
without me, but I did it like
Wow. So yeah, I mean, you're doing a lot for the sport of foosball, but you're helping us out too here at our little endeavor called Foosball Radio, and we do appreciate it.
Of course, I love coming on. I love to talk. I mean, I think that's obvious, but no, anything to promote, I'd love to do it.
That's great. And Adam, of course, he was the catalyst of this whole thing with My Greatest. What a great concept that is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Both you guys.
Yeah. And Hannah too. We could.
Yeah, Hannah did a great job with hers.
Well, yeah.
So,
I'm looking at the chat. Klepto is saying Terry's the man, loves great attitude. Of course, how could you not? Hard as I can, Dan. Did you guys see the shirt Rob signed? I don't.
No, I
Rob-
didn't.
Rob Mares, Rob Atha, Rob somebody. Whoa, there's a big link. I don't know. Is that safe?
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to click on that.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm doing it. Here I
Don't
go.
do it. I'm going to click. You're going to click on that. You're going to give $50 to some prince in somewhere.
Well, you're welcome.
Don't do it.
Okay, yeah, it is pretty cool.
Klepto says
Very cool.
Nursing school is mentally draining. Okay, all right, I'll click on it. Fine. Oh.
Also,
That's
it was
cool.
cool. There were guys from Cameroon that came out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there were.
wow.
Awesome.
That was really international. I mean, that was like as international as heck as I've seen in some time, right? I mean, that was. Did you all get to hang out with the international crowd?
Definitely, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did get to actually talk with Lynn, which we never really got to before. I thought maybe overseas players maybe had the wrong idea of me, which I understand honestly because I can get kind of feisty, but it's never towards my opponent. It's just I get very hyped up, and that's fine, just like Hannah too. But yeah, I'm glad we got to talk, and she got to see who I am, and I got to see who she is outside of competition. And I really liked her. Not that I thought I wasn't gonna like her, but I just didn't know. We never talked before. And we're both up there. Here I'm in the US and she's in Germany. We're both up there, and it was cool to talk to her and get her opinion on things and talk about our goals and in foosball and outside of foosball and how I'm in school and all that kind of stuff. But that was really cool. I always enjoy talking with my friends from Denmark, who I played with, Sven, the World Cup champion. He's awesome. I love to play with him. I mean, they're just all so funny. I don't know if that's just me, but I love talking to international players. They're so funny to me.
Yeah.
Funny
Funny how.
I don't know. Like, they're just funny.
A great sense of humor
and it's
too.
not, yeah, that's what I mean. It's not me laughing at like their accent. I don't think that's funny, but
Oh yeah.
they're just hilarious and they're really intellectual, and it's interesting because half the time those people have better English grammar than anyone
gosh.
at this tournament.
So this weekend I got to record. Was not expecting to have recording anything with podcast because it's Vegas and nobody wants to talk about foosball when they're in Vegas. But one of the people I got to chat with, I did a My Greatest with Reese Roberts.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Dude,
My boy Reese.
I don't know
He's so funny. He is actually hilarious to
He-
talk to.
his voice is so sonorous and beautiful. It's like slightly melted butter on an English muffin, and I'm just really excited. I'm like drooling just thinking about it. Just thinking
About Reese Roberts.
not him. No, the English
The
English
food
muffin.
euphemisms. Here we
No.
go. Here we
I haven't
go.
eaten. So, anyways, I don't even. It doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, no, and he's funny as heck. It's very nice. So I could see that, and I wish, I wanted to talk to Lynn this weekend. I wanted to talk to so many people, but it's like Vegas. There was almost 500 people there playing.
Wow.
It's wild.
You're forgiven.
Yeah, it is. It's nice to like get to talk, like all that we've ever known, Lynn and Caddy are competitors. It's me against you. That's it. It's whatever. And that's the kind of only environment that we've been allowed to have with them. And so when they come here and, you get to go eat sushi with them and talk about, what are you doing at home, or what's it like here, or when we go to this tournament, things like that. Like it's so like relaxing to like talk to them without having to compete. Like it's like the foosball community forces you to compete against them only. And like unless you make an effort to like make a social connection with them, you don't get one. It's just like me versus you. You don't get to like have like a friendship and like like to know them, who they really are. Like let their guard down, let's go eat, like let's hang out. So I think that was really cool that we all got, let's go play pickup games. Like it's really cool to get to do that with those players that sometimes they're just like stacked as your, foosball competition. You don't get to know them without it. And it was nice, like really nice.
Because then it's almost like without you or them making it out to be a certain way, it's like there is just some built up, I don't even know what to call it. Just like
it's like tension, but it's I don't know. It's not from like me versus them. It's more like the people watching. Like I got that vibe. Like when I played Lynn, I felt like Germany was over here and like so, and they're just like, bah, and I'm just
and
like,
it wasn't. But
it's okay. Like it's gonna work out. We're not mad.
It's sweet. You definitely have to get to know them because I'm sure we have a negative look from like their perspective on our attitudes. Like it's not as rowdy over there as it is over here.
Exactly.
And
it was very cool. I think a lot of all the international players, and it was super cool that they all came out. And I hope next year we got 50 more of them that come, just so Americans can see that there is life outside of American foosball. Because they bring a different, and it's next level. They're not just coming over here to like trying their best. No, they're coming over here with it. And it's so cool to see different aspects of their game that we might not be utilizing or something like that too.
Here's a stat. The pro singles final at one of the largest tournaments that's happened in quite a few years. The top 8 players, only one of them was from the United States.
Yeah. Go figure.
Weird, huh?
That's crazy, actually.
And Lynn was right there at the top of that list. Wow. Amazing.
And the one American was from San Diego, and he barely counts. He's my buddy. It's Dan Sloan. I'm just joking.
He barely counts. Okay.
I love that guy.
That's funny.
Anyways, no, but I mean that really speaks to the there's a cat. That really speaks to the the international point of
it's great to see.
Yeah.
It's about time. It's about time. No, it's unfortunately because of COVID, we're all living in our own bubbles across the planet and playing each other. And now we can open up to the world once again. I think it's exciting, and this sets up for the World Cup. Incidentally, I'm not even sure when is World Cup. Is it 25 or 26?
25.
25. Got it. So yeah.
Did you all eat at that?
We're taking a little trip though. Before.
Tell us about that. The both of you are. You're on this team. I want to hear about that because we're going to do another thing on that later. But let's hear about that now. Sullivan,
get him, Sully.
Get him.
Okay, well, yeah. So we've talked about going overseas, but there was never really any plan of us going. And then we both got a text from Lily, Andres, and Vivi about possibly us playing for the Bears Berlin team, who have had great success in the past at Bundesliga, which I'm not sure how it all works exactly, but there was a tournament this past March, which we could have gone to, but it's just kind of difficult. And then we're going to be going in June and competing. I think it's the finals weekend, actually. So, yeah.
So the way I understand it is like qualification rounds, kind of like we did at World Cup. I think there's certain teams that you play against first weekend, and then you get scores of whatever. And we tied with Sullivan, which is a really great team. Sullivan Lions. It's like Caddy and Lynn are both on the team. But we tied in points with them, and so we will play a different round of qualifiers like the next time. So when Sullivan and I go, we'll play the next qualifiers. And then if we're in the top so many teams after that weekend, we qualify to go to Italy in November, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. That is really awesome. Now, how many teams are totally involved in this? I mean, there must be, what, dozens?
I'm not sure.
There
I would
are
say
a lot.
dozens. Yeah, there
Yeah.
was a lot the last time, I believe. I tried to watch some of it, but it was kind of hard. But
Wow.
You're just gonna
That's
go there and
exciting.
wreck faces. That's what you want to do, right? Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So
gonna try.
I want to know in the context, because I don't know. Treat me like I'm like a toddler. Like I have no idea what this is, because when you started telling me about this, Hannah, I had no idea. For the average American listener, like, is this like a league? Like, if we had like a league situation, but it's like larger because a lot of people from across the world are coming to play in it.
Sounds like soccer. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's kind of like soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Rob. He was like, why don't y'all, the Americans just make their own league team and go win it? And I was like, one, it's multi-table and not tornado, so it will be a lot harder than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you apparently have to have someone or players from Europe on the team. You can't just make like an all-American or all like whatever team to go, because it's the European Champions League as I understand it. But there is no tornado table involved. It's all everything else. So
wow.
you don't have that to fall back on. Yeah.
Mm.
So the team is called did you say Berlin Bears? Berlin. Okay, so who's on your team?
So we
A lot.
have, yeah, I don't know how many there are, but there's Lily, Amber, Vivi, I said Amber, Hannah, me, Vesti,
Kate, Sam,
those two from Bulgaria, Sam,
Ellen, Wendy, Maria.
Steph.
I think that's it. Yeah. Lily,
Okay.
Kate, Ellen, Sam, Wendy, Vesti, Amber, Maria, me, and Sully.
That is
and Vivi, of course.
That sounds like a powerhouse team, is what that
It
sounds
does.
like, right? Is that like, is it? Okay, it is. All right.
Stack the deck.
I think so.
And so give us, when is this happening, and where can we watch it?
So they'll have a stream. It's usually on Twitch. They said since this is like the final women's weekend, that they will be streaming more of the women's matches this weekend than they did for March, but it's on a Twitch stream. I can find it, or we'll get it to you eventually. But it's the end of June is when the tournament will be, the last weekend in June, I believe.
Cool. Yeah, we'll be looking for it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
All right.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
So
More to talk about.
So Sullivan, we're way past the time that I gave you. I mean, are you ready? Do you need to go? You need to go study and do stuff. I'm thinking maybe like if you're ready to get going, or if we have some other things we all want to talk about. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't have anything to go.
Doesn't matter.
I have some nachos that are waiting for me to eat. But
what were you going to say? Did you guys eat at somewhere?
Listen
Is that what
to
you were
me.
going to say when we interrupted you?
Don't trigger me, because my eating this past weekend sucked. I went and I had my nice dinner at that Saltgrass place, and it was terrible.
Uh-oh.
It was just,
no.
Yeah, it was embarrassing, and I'll just say this: I had the filet, and it was gristly, and then I had the Oscar on it, so it was like a cream sauce with crab. It just tasted like salt and vaguely reminiscent of a California roll, which is embarrassing. And then they gave me some cold French fries. It was shit, and because I'm a very nice person, I didn't say anything about it. But it was crap. And I'm like, this was my one nice dinner, because I could have gone to other nicer places. But I still thought you could get like a steak at the... I've been looking... I look at the Saltgrass place, and I'm like, there's so many dead raccoons on the wall. This should be good food, right? Like, you see how many animals are stuffed on the wall there? I'm like, they should know what they're doing.
Dead raccoons. Why raccoons?
Why not? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just like, that's the decor.
Okay.
Well, the mac and cheese was fire.
Mac and cheese is good.
We went there the first night.
Yeah.
But like always, I had like a sweet potato and like broccoli and cheese, and then Sully had mac.
So let me tell you this: the salve, the panacea to all this was going around the corner very close to to Fremont Street, too close. But at the grill, they had this Parmesan crusted ham ham and cheese sandwich. Whoa, that worked, and it was only 13
I was in
minutes.
the booth. Yeah, I was in the booth when someone ate that. Like the inside food
Was
booth.
it
I was
me?
like,
It was
"Weird,
me.
that looks good."
It was
No,
me.
I don't think
That
it was.
me. No, it was
it?
somebody. Yeah, that I don't know.
It was
No.
really early on.
No.
It looked great. I was like, "Wow,
it
good
was
for you, buddy."
no. By day 3 is when I was like really there. So that's all I ate the rest of the time. And I had this really fascinating conversation the last night with. I ordered a quesadilla and a Reuben because I was worried that either one was going to suck. So I got both. I can't deal with the emotional letdown of having a bad meal the last night that I'm in Vegas. But I got to talk to Michael Splain and Miriam Ali. You know, we chatted like 2 a.m. as I'm sitting there eating so much food in front of them. I was kind of embarrassed by how much I ate.
Don't do that. That's not fun at all.
No. No need to get food self-conscious.
Why start now?
Nope.
All right, that's my story.
Not here.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Well, can I just conclude here by saying that I am ultimately jealous of each and every one of you. So there.
We missed you.
Yeah, but that didn't.
I'm sure
that
you
doesn't.
did.
That doesn't make my steak taste better, Tom.
No.
Man. Anyway, I'll get over it.
I know.
Okay.
Well, there's always the next one. Speaking of the next one, Sullivan, what's your next one?
Texas State.
Texas State. Okay, and then after that is
Germany.
okay. Hannah, same.
Samesies.
So neither one of you are going to Florida. No. And is Bardo somewhere in there?
Yeah, it's before Worlds, like a week before.
It's like
Yeah.
August.
It's August 17th, the weekend of August 17th. So is that something that you all might go to, or that's a whole nother thing?
I'm
Yeah,
definitely.
probably.
I don't know. I probably will go.
Yeah.
By the way, don't mention the water park to Adam. It triggers him.
Yeah. Oh,
Don't mention that
Okay.
water park.
Noted. You look scarred. A little bit flustered.
I'm just glad there's chlorine in it. So you've got those events and then Worlds, and then it's not a very heavy schedule for either one of you, right? Or
Sneak some in there. We got Louisiana, Mississippi, Colorado.
locals.
We'll figure
Oh,
something out in
yeah.
there. Fun.
yeah. What about the beatdown? Do you guys go to that? The South Florida thing? No. Okay.
That's a drunk fest, basically. But
Yeah,
it's a good time,
it is.
I would go commentate it just for fun.
right?
That would be really fun.
Would you
I
go?
think.
Would you seriously go and just do commentary?
Shoot, yeah. Like,
Of course.
yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay.
I would love to go to a tournament and just do commentary. Like, how fun would that be? You don't have to worry about playing or like whatever. Just like, go and like,
Let me
hang
tell
out.
you, it's pretty fun. I love
Right?
it.
I can
I'd be
imagine. It would be
itching.
good.
no, I would be itching.
You'd be itching to
I
play.
could not. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's no way.
I mean, I'll tell you one thing. Like, if I had a foosball table, if I could practice and like not feel like crap when I play after a couple possessions, I would totally be upset. But as it is right now, we don't have a foosball table or anything. I don't play anymore. So, but I would be itching. You know what? I'm lying. I totally itching. I want to play. I want to go and crush everybody so bad. You have no idea.
So speaking of that, I have to ask just so I can start practicing and planning now.
I won't be there.
Do you plan to play Texas State 4-on-4?
I won't be there. I knew that's what you were going to ask.
Thank the
Lord,
I know.
I'm in it.
You're in.
Yes.
Come on.
Whew.
No, I won't be there.
Man.
No.
Yeah, you see, he placed it right in the background just so it peeks at me every time
You mean
I talk to my friend Adam.
Right there.
I
You-
see the
You're
damn
not talking
thing.
about
I
that,
see
are you?
it. Yeah.
Can you zoom in on that?
No.
Don't do it.
No, I think
Mm-mm.
yeah.
I've seen enough.
That mixed 4-on-4 title.
I love it.
Yep. It's nice.
That was you and Jim and Noelia
And yeah, Lexi.
and Lexi. That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Mhm.
right. Wow.
And you know
Hannah's
what I
not over
learned?
that yet.
You know what I learned from the key in 4-on-4, and probably life in general and all foosball is one of the things that Noelia was doing that I was not doing was that she was disguising her takeoff. I was trying to hit the ball as hard as I possibly could. You can't do that against people like Tony Sprademan and Brandon Munoz and Hannah Smith and people like that. They look for that kind of thing. Just throwing that out there. Just some good.
Thanks.
Just good stuff.
Just in case you happen to find yourself in a 4-on-4 against Tony Sprademan.
Yeah, as you do.
Good observation.
Well,
so you're not doing Texas?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to work out this year. But for me personally, I think I will be at Florida State next weekend, or the weekend after next, or whatever it's called, and the beatdown and Bardo, and then potentially, I'm assuming Worlds. I don't know.
Worlds.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Maybe we could all be at Worlds this year. Who knows?
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Party.
That would be fun.
I'll bring Uno.
Uno.
Dude, I'll bring some Uno Flip.
Yeah.
You haven't even played Uno until you play Uno Flip.
We're gonna do phase 10 because I know that's
I'll
not
do
a
that
thing
too.
for you guys.
I'll be totally into that.
perfect.
Whatever it is.
Down. All right, get there a day early for cards.
I'm a huge fan of getting there a day early. No,
The
I'll go there and play
marathon.
cards.
Uno marathon.
Same. We could take you to a restaurant that Sullivan and I found last time. It was super nice.
Where?
Like on
Where?
the rooftop
Where?
in
Where?
downtown Lexington. It's like I don't
Where?
remember the name of it, but it's like a rooftop, like restaurant, bar, grill thing. And we went like
Whoa.
before me. It's
Cool.
so
super
nice.
Really?
I had a good time.
Oh, that's awesome.
You mean it's better than Cracker Barrel?
Slightly.
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 Just checking.
Oh. I should probably start wrapping up here because I have a child that's running around half naked. Not that should be the defining reason to stop doing a show, but it's definitely highly up there. But I don't even want to say that. I don't know. Hey, Hannah, any last words, thoughts? I think we'll go around let's go around the horn. I got Hannah and then Tom, and then we'll give the last words to Sullivan before we sign off. But Hannah, Hall of Fame, everything else in between. What do you think?
Hall of Fame was good. It was a great showing. I'm glad there was so many international players. That's something that I haven't personally experienced in Vegas before, as I've only been twice now. Oh, this was my third time. So that was really a cool aspect for me. That's what I feel like. Everyone was like, this is what it used to be like. And I was like, wow, maybe it is. Like, this is nice. I don't know. But it was a great feeling. I had a really good time. I played some really tough matches. I don't feel like I played my best foosball, but that's okay. You know, I'm still proud of what I did and the people I beat. And that's, it was a little bit different, but that's foosball. I kind of knew that going into it with what I've been doing. But that's okay. Aside from foosball, I had a great time. I loved watching my friends play great matches. You know, Bracklin, Sully, Isabel. I love watching my people do great. So that was fun, and can't wait for the next one, of course. But I think that's all I got.
Tom?
Well, I would have to say then I want to thank you for distracting me this weekend from other things because I just wanted to watch the matches. It was so cool to see you guys. And by the way, both Hannah, Sullivan, I mean, thank you so much. You guys are great, and congratulations. What a great weekend for both of you guys.
Thank you.
And looking forward to the next one. No,
Yeah.
just going to say that this idea of spending the weekend just standing here in my studio watching foosball, I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's awesome. And you know what? I think we should just get a GoFundMe to get you a chair or something so you can sit.
Nah,
That's a long time
all
to be
right.
standing.
Indeed.
Sullivan, before we get to you, T42 Louis says Cracker Barrel is still better than the Sedona Tap House. My friend,
Oh,
blink twice if you're okay. Blink
He
three
was
times
paid
if
to
you can
write
help.
that.
No,
He must-
He was
yeah,
right. He was
must be.
paid to write that. That's a sponsored comment. Gotta be.
Good. I've been to both, and I'm sorry. Like you all can
True.
dump on the Clarion all you want. But ain't no way.
Sedona's good.
Horrible service.
I think you just had a bad go,
Yeah, you had a
T42
bad go.
Louis.
Yeah.
Give it
no.
another shot. That place,
No, I had a.
12 out of 10.
I would,
Mhm.
I would say that. I mean, but you know what? You have to be respectful of servers. Like we all have bad days. I mean, my gosh, like and sometimes I think when we shit on servers and the retail industry, we should before we do that, look at ourselves in the mirror and say, "Look at me, damn it."
Be mean to me too. No, I'm just kidding.
But I respect that. Horrible service. It happens. We've all been there, but so have I. I was a server for a long time. And you know what? Sometimes you just look at that pot of coffee and you want to break that pot of coffee and just stab the shards into your chest because you're. I'm
Please
just
don't
saying.
do that.
I just.
Meanwhile, it's Sedona. That's what's happening.
I know.
You can find Adam, the coffee pot,
If you need me,
in
I'll
the kitchen.
Anyways, it's not a cold case.
It's Clue.
That's Clue. Well, I'm Adam Gilson. That's Hannah Smith. That's Tom Robinson. This has been FoosWeek. We've been chatting about Hall of Fame Classic, everything in between, and we've had this great guest, Sullivan Rue. The last words are yours.
I mean, yeah, I think after working for that singles title for so long, getting double dipped, like I said, being so close, I think this was the one singles title that I don't have. And I think it is. And so that was a big deal for me. And then the doubles match was something. I mean, obviously, winning 3 years in a row was a huge accomplishment, but learning how to overcome stuff really changed my outlook on foosball now. And you really just have to be confident in yourself and use your other options when things don't work out. Figure it out. You know, anything can happen. Just figure it out. And yeah, definitely one of my favorite tournaments yet. I'm glad that all these European players and South American players and Cameroon players came out. It was awesome, and it really upped the competition a lot and made everyone work a lot harder to win and anything, And obviously growing closer with those foreign players as well was really nice. But yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sullivan. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you all for listening, and we will all catch you next week.